Hello, hello, and welcome to Hump Day Lunch Break Live. Hope you have your lunch and you're joining us today. Let me just make sure I get my feed going here so I can see everything going on. How are you today? I am doing great. I'm glad it's Wednesday. Yes. Oops. So welcome to Hump Day Lunch Break Live. Let's just get started here. Today, super excited to bring you a couple of things, and some of those things I'm going to be bringing you are the Let's Set sale stamp set from our annual catalog, and it should be a lot of fun to use. Here we go. If you're there, say hi and let me know what you're having for lunch. Oops. Sorry, little technical difficulties. I was actually a little busy today. My work life kind of got me involved in a lot of things I wasn't expecting. So, posted late. I do apologize for that, but we are live, so let me see. Okay, I'm going to just go over while I'm trying to multitask here. There we go. I see it live, and let's go to comments. Oops. I'm going to leave a comment just to make sure I am seeing everything. All right. And let's expand that. Oops. There we go. Turn down that volume. All righty. Hi, Anne. Welcome. So something I wanted to share about. Stampin' Up! Is offering a BOGO, and I'm hoping you can see that on my screen here. So from June 1st to June 30th, Stampin' Up! Is offering a buy one, get one 50% off sale on all the kits that they have. Woohoo! Awesome deal. So you purchase 2 kits. The most expensive, the higher price kit will be at 50% off. Woohoo! If you'd like, please go ahead and use my host code to order from my online store. I'd greatly appreciate that. That helps me be able to bring you new product in these videos. So without further ado, though, I'm going to go ahead and start today's card. So let me just get out a couple of things that we'll be using. So we're going to be using our Rays of Light stamp set. That's also new in our annual catalog. And not sure why I don't see it on my screen yet. And then also we'll be using the Let's Set sale. I thought these 2 stamp sets really went well together. So yeah, I can't wait to share this card with you. And I'm also going to bring in the coordinating punch. Now, all the items that I'm going to be using in today's video will be posted a little bit after the video. I'll list all the supplies, and I will have that up on YouTube and also on my website, www.mystampstudio.com. Go ahead and check it out. And later today, I'll actually post a recipe for it. So it'll list all the supplies, all the measurements, and everything that you need to reproduce this card. So let's grab our cardstock out here. So I have a piece of, well, I thought I had a piece of Balmy Blue. Okay, so I grabbed that. So here's my Balmy Blue. It's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I have a piece of Basic White. Now, it's larger than I need. I'm going to be cutting it down to be 4 by 5 1/4. But for right now, because we're going to be using a background stamp, I'm using a larger sheet. That way I can cut it down to where I need it to be to fit on my card like I want it. All right, I'm going to be using some Pacific Point, and we are going to be using the So Saffron, Sweet Sorbet, and Pacific Point stamp pads. I just need to grab my Pacific Point. For some reason, I grabbed Night of Navy. That's not going to help us. And, well, I may have to swap that out because I don't know what I do with my Pacific Point stamp pad. Okay. I have a stack of things next to me, so I'm sure it's in my little stack here. All right. I guess we'll swap it out with Night of Navy. That will be fine. Those stamps go together just tremendously. Okay. Let's get started on some stamping. So we're going to move these things out of the way. Now this is the Rays of Light background stamp. I'm using my Stamparatus plate. I have found when I'm stamping my large background stamps, I like to use the Stamparatus. Okay, we're going to ink this up with the So Saffron. And I think I need to zoom out just a little bit here. Let's see. How's that looking? Hopefully that's looking a little better. Hello, Becky. I'm going to ink this whole thing up. And I'm going to take my basic white and I'm just going to position it right on there. So again, this piece is larger than my stamp. I'm going to take a scrap piece of paper here and I'm just going to lay it over the top and I'm just going to give it a good little back rub here. That way I know all my ink is getting on my cardstock like I need it to. Now you could definitely use this on the hinge side and put it down. So let me show you what that is like. I think I have another piece of white here. Okay, that turned out really good. The other thing you can do with your Stamparatus is, let me lift this up. I don't need this foam because it's a red rubber stamp here. And I'm just going to put this down. I'm just showing you an alternative way to use your Stamparatus. So I'll ink this one up again. I'll grab another piece of white here. And I can see where I inked it before, so I'm just going to go ahead and, I don't know which side I used. Okay. Well, we're just going to guesstimate here just so I can show you. So I'm going to go ahead and flip this down right here. And I can go ahead and do the same thing, giving it a good back rub. Making sure I get it all rubbed in. And when I lift it up, if I see that I have spots that didn't actually stamp, I can come back again and just push down on those other spots. Okay, so that's how you use the Stamparatus with a background. Again, I like to just use it right on top. But that's the piece that we'll be using. I'm going to put this aside. I'll clean that later. We'll go ahead and close this out. Now I'm going to come back in with my trimmer. And I'm going to trim this down to be 4 inches by 5 1/4. So I'm just going to take this little edge off here. Oopsie. That didn't want to cut nicely. So let's try this again. Let's try it from this side. Don't know quite what I did there. My blade wasn't sitting nice and flat. All right. So now I can turn this way and go to my 4 inches and trim that here. I can turn this and we'll trim a little bit off this end here. Again, this piece was much larger than my 5 1/4 by 4 that I needed. Oh, I realize I'm not even in the screen. So sorry. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, so anyways, I just trimmed that down. That's all I did. Okay, I have my balmy blue, so we're going to just layer that right there. I'm not going to adhere it quite yet because I want to do a little bit more stamping. So I have another piece of basic white. Let me just grab that over here. And this is just a little scrap. And I'm going to bring in my punch. Now, here is a great way to do this. I like to take a piece of paper here and I slide it all the way in and I punch that out. Now what I can do is bring in my stamp set. And I know that this is going to go this way. Okay, so when I slide it in, I can punch it out just fabulously. So let's just slide it right over to the edge here. Just like that. We'll pull in these pieces and we'll grab our sweet sorbet. I'm going to pull in my, well, let's just get this down here. I'm going to go ahead and grab a piece of Post-it note tape, and I'm just going to take this to my work surface here. What I want to use is my silicone mat, but I don't see it handy at the moment. So we'll just grab this foam mat here, because I do need that underneath because this is a photopolymer set. So all I'm going to do here, so I've got my little bit of white showing. I'm going to take my Post-it note tape and just hold that in place. All this is doing is just holding my mask right here in place. This allows me to now place my stamps right where I need to. So I'm just going to kind of maneuver this in so it fits in that punched area, just like that. Then we'll grab the other sail And we'll do that over here. Just like that. I do want to come in with a different color for that. So I'm going to grab my block and just bring this down, lift it straight up, just like that. I'm going to lift this. Well, actually, make sure I have it still taped there. And no, it doesn't matter. I'm going to actually just go ahead and stamp this. Now, when I'm stamping it, I want to make sure that I have these in the right orientation. So we'll go ahead and put it right here. I'm going to end up wasting a little bit of paper, but I'm not really worried about that. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and stamp. You could also leave your mask down here and stamp right in there. So we can do that. So just get it lined up again. Okay, now this stamp set does have a little bit of distressed look. So don't worry that your ink didn't completely fill that. It's a little distressed. I don't like how it lined up, so I'm going to actually flip my paper over. And we'll just go ahead and I'm going to slide it down just a little bit so it holds that mask in place. And let's try and do it again. Sometimes it's a little hard when I'm doing the video to get my head over the project to make sure I'm right in where I have to be. And we'll just say that looks good. Okay. There we go. A little off. So, well, we'll see how it works. I think I like that side better. I'm going to just line these back up again. Just like that. Okay. Put that back down. Oops, that wasn't lined up. Having a little seeing problem today. Can't seem to get that lined up the way I want. And I did have it lined up. It's not this difficult, really. It's just, it's user error right now. I'm kind of distracted. Okay. You know what? We're just going to restamp the whole darn thing because I want it to turn out for you. All right. Let's just grab another piece of scrap here. I've got a whole bunch sitting off to my side. All right, this might work a little better since it's now taped on there. Okay, so here we go. Pretend I didn't show you the first ones. All right, let's go ahead and I'm going to slide this down for a moment so I can stamp it. So I can get lined up in there the way I need to be. Okay, there we go. I'm going to go ahead and bring in my Night of Navy. And the next thing I'll do is I'm going to bring in this piece here. Our little bottom of our boat and our mast. Okay, and we'll just put that right on there. I like to drop it on my paper here so I know that's going to be straight. We'll get our Night of Navy in here. And we'll line that up right in that opening. Just like that. Now I'll take my little mask off. I do like to keep that so I have it. Now I can just slide this right in my punch and I can punch out the images. So I just need to line it up, punch it out, and now I've got all the pieces that I need. So here are our pieces and that's what we'll be using. Okay, slide that out of the way. Let's bring back in our base here and we're going to end up probably tucking these in just a little bit, just like that. So this is, again, where I like to have my silicone mat. And for the life of me, I don't know what I did with it because I had it this morning. I was using it this morning. So let me just turn around here and take a peek at it. Okay, I don't see it handy. So I'm going to just bring this back in. The reason I'm doing this is I want to build my sailboat here, and I don't want to get glue on my work surface there. So I'm going to take my liquid glue and I am just going to put a little bit, we're going to tuck this one in back. So I'm just going to take just a little dot of glue, and this should be interesting because it's a brand new bottle of glue. So and I got a little glue stopper in there. Let's get that pulled out before it all comes shooting out. Okay, so I got a little bit of, okay. I'm just going up here to a little scrap of paper so I can get that out. It doesn't want to come out, so use a different glue bottle. This, I just put my liquid glue in, just so it gives me a nice fine tip. Stampin' Up! Does not sell this, though, just so you're aware. All right, so I've got that first one. And you know what we'll do? We'll move this out of the way so you can actually see what I'm doing. So I've got my mast here, and I've got my first sail. I'm going to come in and lift my mast just so I can have it there. I'm going to slide these two pieces underneath, just like that. And again, this is why you want something underneath, because you're going to have glue getting on your work surface. And now this one, I'm going to actually put the adhesive on the back, just on the two tips here, just like that. And I'll go ahead and line those two up. There we go. Oh my goodness, if I could see today. Having a little visual issues. All right, so here is our boat. I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to put some dimensionals right on the back of it. Okay, and we'll get this out of the way now. We'll bring back in our layers, just like that. Now, it almost looks like it's floating in the sky, so I need to do a little something. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to bring in my Balmy Blue, and I am going to just tear my edge, just like this, to make it look like water. Just like that. And I'm going to put it on this part of the card. I'm going to lower it just a little bit here. That looks about good. And then I'll just come back in with my trimmer here, and I'll just cut it straight. And I'm not really, I don't really have a measurement here. So let's try 3.5, and let's see how well that goes. Or I'm sorry, 2.5. Right. Okay, and I'll just put it right on the bottom of there. So I am hiding quite a bit of my sun, but it doesn't look too bad. I'm going to trim this down just a little bit more, so maybe make it a 2-inch strip. So I'm going 2 inches from the top of my highest portion there. Yeah, I think that looks much better. Now, what did I do with my boat? Here's my little boat. All right, I think I'm going to need some embellishments. So I think we'll use the opal rounds. And you can color those too, just so you're aware. You can use your blends and color those in. Let's go ahead and make sure we have a sentiment here. Now, I'm going to add a little more to this. I feel like it's kind of there. So I'm bringing in my cloud punch. And I'm going to punch 2 clouds here. And I'm going to add those to the front of my card. Kind of like that. Yeah, that helps out a little bit. And then we're going to stamp our sentiment at the bottom. So let's go ahead and bring back in our stamp set here. And let's see which one we would like to fit. So we'll move this all over a little bit. I am almost thinking that I would like to have a little bit of water down here as well. So let's grab our Night of Navy again. And I'm going to move this out of the way. Bring back in my foam mat. I'm going to position that boat where I wanted. And then I'm going to go ahead and bring in this little water piece that's in the stamp set. So let me clean my other stamp so I can get my block. All right, and I'm just going to put this back where it needs to be here so I don't lose my pieces. All right, we're going to grab this. So the image that we're grabbing is this right here. So grab this one. Now this stamp set, these 2 stamp sets are actually going to be featured in my June class. I will be posting that later today. If you are on my email list, you will get an email for that. If you're not, make sure you subscribe so that you can be on my email list and get notified of when I have classes or specials. That way I can also give you a sign-up sheet. I do have to do that via email, so make sure you subscribe. I will put a link in the description for YouTube and in the comments on the Facebook page. All right, so that added just a little dimension to that. I didn't want to bring in a whole nother stamp set to do this, so that's why I just used that one. All right, and we'll put our 2 clouds right there. And let's get our sentiment here. And I am just going to take a lovely little scrap of white. And I think I'm going to stamp in the Sweet Sorbet. Give it a little bit more color here. And we'll go ahead and stamp our Let Your Dreams Set Sail. And that's not my stamp set. That's just the case. So let's go ahead and grab our stamp. Put this other one back. All right. Let Your Dreams Set Sail. We'll bring this in so that I have my little background here. And I know that I want to stamp it in this direction. Well, it doesn't really matter. Okay. It doesn't matter if I stamp it straight or not, because I am going to trim it out. So we'll go ahead and grab our little snips here. Hello, Geneva. How are you today? So I'm just going to go ahead and just fussy cut this out. I'm not really going in any particular pattern for it. I'm just cutting it out. And let's round this corner. You could definitely use a tag or a punch to do this. I kind of like it on the side like that. So I left a straight edge. Let's see how straight it really is. There we go. Yeah, just a fun little card, a quick little card. You could definitely add an embossing folder to give this a little pop, but this is just a quick lunch break card that I wanted to share with you today. So let's go ahead and grab some seal here. And get this on there. Put this right on our card base. Okay. We'll put this, I think we're going to actually pop this up as well. So let's bring in our dimensionals again. And this time I'm going to add just a few more than I normally would because I don't want my middle to kind of collapse on me. So I'm adding enough to have this be nice and stable, and we'll peel those all off. So I'm just going to share, I was going to do this on my patio today, and I thought it'd be really nice because it's such a beautiful day out. Why is this not? It's such a beautiful day out, and I thought, oh, it'd be great to do it underneath the pergola and just be outside and get some fresh air during my lunch break. Well, come to find out, the birds have left quite a bit of mess on my seating. I was in shock. How do they fly under the pergola? I mean, really? I mean, I know how they fly, but really? Okay, so on this one, I'm finding because I popped this up, I need to add a second dimensional here, just to kind of give this a nice support system, because we all need a support system, right? Okay, so we're going to match that right up right here. There we go. And we're going to bring in our, let's add some ribbon. What do I want to add for ribbon? I'm going to pull in, let's see. I kind of like this. So this is our Starry Sky metallic ribbon. I am actually going to just kind of pop this back up a little bit here. So I'm going to gently just slide that up enough so I can slide my ribbon underneath. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to hide it underneath my sentiment. So here I've got one strip here. So I'm going to actually use some Scotch tape. So this is a great other little thing to have. All right. So I like using Scotch tape to hold my ribbon in place. So we're going to pull that back a little bit and just add it right here, because I know that is going to be hidden by my sentiment. right, we'll give that a little tug. And put another piece there. That wasn't Scotch tape, that was more ribbon. All right. So do you have any great plans for the weekend? Share with me what you're going to be doing. Share with me what you're having for lunch today. Okay. Thank you, Geneva. I appreciate it. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and trim this little excess off right here because I don't want that sticking out. And I'm going to just add my adhesive and put that right down. It just added a little something to my card. So we'll go ahead and put our adhesive right along here. Just like that. And we'll set it right to the edge. Okay. We'll bring back in our clouds. And I think I need to pop one of these up. So the first one we're going to just put right on our card base. So grab a little bit of seal there. And our second one, we'll grab some more dimensionals because did you know dimensionals are actually bling? Just saying. If you don't have bling to add to your card, add some dimensionals. It does amazing things for these cards. And I put them on the wrong side. Oh well. Okay. Okay. So there we go. Let's see if we're going to want to add these. I think we may just need to do a little coloring. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my Night of Navy blend so I can show you how you color these in. I use the blends because they're alcohol based and they will dry quickly. If you try to use your marker, they're not going to dry. So I want something that dries quickly. So move that out of the way. Have this here. And I'm going to use the lighter one. And I'm using the brush side. And I'm just going to gently do this. Now, you want to make sure that you're gently doing it because you don't want to ruin your tip. I like to make sure I go all the way around. And let's see, I kind of want to try out the dark and see if that works a little better. I feel like I need a little, yeah, I like that better. So I'll go around. So you can see this end is a little damaged. That's because I was coloring rhinestones that have a very rough and jagged edge. So that will kind of break down that tip. So one thing you can do is have a separate set for your coloring if you're going to be coloring something kind of jagged. All right, and this was already sweet sorbet, so I think we'll use one of those. Let's grab out our, I'll grab this large one here. Take a pick tool, and I think I'll put one over here. I'll grab one over here, and then I'll grab my third one and I'll put it right here, just to give my card a little something extra. And let's grab our envelope and stamp our envelope. And for this, we'll go ahead and I'm going to actually stamp these individually this time. So what we'll do is we'll grab our boat base here. And I'm going to grab our, whoops, sorry about that. My lighting just kind of switched on me. Hopefully you can still see everything good. All right. Go ahead and ink that up. Bring our mat in because we still need to have that. And I'll put my boat right here. Just like that. Okay. Now, next thing we'll do is we'll grab our sail. And I'm going to grab my smaller block just to make it a little bit more manageable. All right, so this one is going to go on this side. So we'll grab our sweet sorbet again. Oh, my stamp pad didn't want to close. You had a sub from Subway. You know, that sounds really good. I did not plan my lunch today, so maybe I'll have to go do that. Becky, you always have the best ideas. Just saying. Okay, so we got that one. And I'll grab this one. And just so we don't have our little sailboat floating in space, I'm going to go ahead and come in with one of the other stamps that we did not use on the front of the card, but we're definitely going to use on our envelope. So let's close this up. I'm going to be using our Night of Navy again. I'm going to bring back in my little scrap paper here. And the other thing I need to do is grab a large enough block for my next piece here. And just looking for my larger blocks. Go. And the piece I'm going to grab, I'll show you in just a second what it looks like, is this piece right here. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to ink that up in Night of Navy. I'm going to stamp it off once, just so it's not so dark, and I'll come back in and stamp that right below. It's not going to go quite all the way across. You know, we'll just have it going part way. Right there. And now our little boat looks like it's on water. Okay, so here is today's card. Thanks so much for taking out your time today and having lunch with me. I hope you have a great rest of the week. It is almost Friday. Whoop, whoop. So tomorrow night I will be live again on Facebook for Stampin' Fun and more. Yeah, I'll have some very interesting things. Again, if you're not subscribed to my email list, make sure you do so that you can be notified. I will be sending out the email today for our Let's Set sale class. I also do have our masculine stamp camp planned for June 11th. It is in person, but I am also offering an online version of that class. You have to sign up by June 5th. So there is a deadline because I need to order all the supplies. The physical class will be June 11th, and the online class will be available in videos for you on June 18th. Everything will be prepped and shipped out on June 10th. So I'll have a link for that information as well. So thanks again. Have an awesome day. Bye.